Alright, so you want to learn how to speedrun the world's hardest game. This video will aim to help you with downloading the speedrun mod for the game, setting everything up, and how to play through all of the 30 levels in a way that should allow you to complete the game in under 6 minutes. Firstly, over on the speedrun.com page for the game, we're going to navigate over to the Resources tab, and then go to All Resources. Once you're here, click on this link to be redirected to a mega folder. Firstly, you're gonna want to go over to Adobe Flash Player Projectors, choose your operating system, and if you're on Windows, I highly suggest you get Flash Player 11 Max Patch. So the reason for this being that this Flash Player is designed to give you the most consistent frame times possible and to avoid massive stutters in terms of frame timing. Once you have this downloaded, you're gonna want to make your way back to Speedrun and Practice mods. Go to World's Hardest Game 1 and download There You Go Mini Chip Definitive. This is just a copy of World's Hardest Game Speedrun v8.3, but it has some quality of life features, such as the timers freezing during tip screen so that you can see what pace you're on. So now that you have everything downloaded, you're going to want to open this SWF file with the previously downloaded Flash Player. Alright, so now that we have the game open, I would like to talk about something really important, that being the resolution that you're going to perform your run on. So as you can see, if I press shift, this number over here will light up, and that is the resolution that your window is currently set to. This game has many resolution dependent tricks, so it's nice to be able to use a resolution that has everything you need pretty much. If you're using a 1080p monitor, I suggest you set your height, which is the second number here, to 944, and then make your width so that it's you can see these bars on the side, because otherwise the height itself becomes smaller even if this number does not indicate that. So as long as you see these bars on the side, you should be fine. Now if you have a monitor smaller than 1080p, another resolution that works and is pretty much available for all monitors out there would be 607 height. So resize until you have this, and you can see the black bars on the side. And yeah, that's pretty much it about resolution. Alright, so now that we have everything set up, I'll go over some of the more basic mechanics of the game, as well as the speedrun mod itself, and after that I'll go over all of the levels, explaining different routes and methods to complete them. Firstly, it is worth mentioning that, as the name implies, this game will be quite hard, especially on your first playthrough. With that being said, these speedrun routes should be able to make them much simpler to comprehend and complete compared to improvising them. Alright, now let's talk about the mechanics of the game itself. Firstly, as you can see, you're a red square and your goal is to get from one green side to another. The blue dots kill you, obviously, and you can move with the arrow keys or WASD if you prefer so. Now, something that you're going to want to keep in mind, firstly, is corner cutting. This square only has hit points on the side and in the center, not in the corners, which allows you to pretty much cut the corner. This is also useful with enemies, so for example in level 12 you can see that I can go pretty far into this enemy without dying, as there's no hit point there. Something else worth mentioning is that after levels 4, 9, 14, 19, 24, and 29, there will be a tip screen that looks something like this. And the way to get past this tip screen is to press spacebar. The most efficient way to do so is by pressing spacebar and holding it right before touching the finish checkpoint. Alright, so now that the basic mechanics of the game are explained, I'll go over some of the hotkeys that are exclusive to the speedrun mod. Firstly, there are level advance hotkeys. H brings you a level forward and G brings you a level back. These are just useful to navigate levels quicker rather than clicking menu and then level select and then choosing the level you want. The second hotkey, and this one's quite important, is Y. This resets the level to its beginning cycles, as well as the player, of course. And this is very useful for practicing certain routes. And one last hotkey that I want to go over is T, which sets a save state. And then R is used to load that save state. So if I want to set a save state here, I'll use R to load it, and I'll continue playing the level. One last thing that I want to talk about is resetting mid-run, aka pressing Y after completing a level. So as you can see, if we beat level 1 and then go into level 2, our time will be at 6 seconds. And if we press Y in level 2, the time resets to what it was when you entered that level. This is obviously not allowed in actual speedruns, but it is good to check what your best possible time was with the strats you're doing, and maybe know if you need to add anything for extra leniency. And that's about it. Alright, now let's talk about the routes themselves. So, click on play game, then play game again, and this is level 1. Buffer down right, and then press up, 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 and that gets you to the ending. Level 2, start by buffering up and right, then go down around here, up around there, and down around here. Alternatively, you can also just down, up, down, down. In level 3, position yourself around this general area. It doesn't matter where necessarily, but as long as you're a little lower than the starting area. When you get an opening, do not press both up and left at the same time, as this makes it a little harder. Press left and then up like so. This gives you way more leniency. And then once you're at the checkpoint, switch to right and then to down. So it looks something like this. Perfect. Level 4, start by buffering down and left. And around this area right here, you're going to want to switch to right, then left again, and then up. And then buffer spacebar going to level 5. In level 5, start by holding down right and stop for a little. Then just keep holding them, switch to left. And then stop for a little over there, in that general area. The window is decently precise, but still something that should be manageable. Stop over here for a little until this enemy goes by, and then stop for once more over there. If you did everything correctly, you should be able to just make it through the rest of the level without stopping. Alright, level 6. You have to wait a little at the start, as if you keep buffering, you'll die. What I prefer to do is hold up, and as soon as I hit the ceiling, I go right. And over here, you're gonna want to go down like this, and then stop for a cycle until you get an opening. And then just keep doing this movement, going around the spinners, and then going all the way around this last one. In level 7, start by buffering up and right. Collect the coin like this, and then go down at the same time as the enemy. Once you're down here, you should be able to take this slower, because if you're too fast, you might die to this enemy right here. And once you're down here, once you're perfectly on the ground, do a 1 frame tap to get in this alignment, which allows you to just go through all the enemies due to how the game handles collision detection. So do a 1 frame tap, then go up, left, go to this square right here, and then once this enemy starts going down, go down as well, collecting the coin along the way. Like so. Alright, in level 8, I want to go over a strategy called 8 clip, as well as the backups that you should be able to perform in case you fail it. So start by buffering down left. Once you're past this, this corner, switch to right. Then here, switch to left again. So like so. And then go up, and then do this clip. This is a frame-perfect turnaround, although there are very easy backups in case you fail it, either by going frame early, like so, or frame late, like so. So if you do actually get the wall clip, you should just continue like this, and then stop for a little at the end, collect the coin, and go back down. Now, if you're early, like so, just go back left and do this movement. Keep holding up, and then you don't have to stop here, and that gives you an 11-second time. Now, if you're late, like so, just stop for a second, get down here again, and then just do the same general movement, which gives you around the same time. Alright, in level 9, there's 2 paths. The much easier path is the bottom one, so start by holding down right like so, and then stop as soon as you hit the wall. When you're here, go left, then go right again, up, down. So yeah, just do this whole level without stop, the whole first part without stopping. When you're next to the coin, stop for a second, get the coin like so, then go back left, make your way to this spot, and these spinners right here, they might look really dangerous, but most of the time you're not actually gonna die to them, since they're moving so fast that most of the time the collision detection won't actually register when they're overlapping you. So yeah, after getting the coin, make your way here, then go left, right, position yourself here, go up, position yourself here, and go right. Alright, so in level 10, this one's pretty straightforward. What you're gonna want to do is just do the level the intended way. One piece of advice that I want to go over is this down here. If you're gonna touch this bottom wall and then try and go right, this will be much more precise than it needs to be. So what I recommend is after touching this bottom wall, press both up and right like so to stick to the wall. Once that's done, just finish the level and go into level 11. Level 11 is a pretty technical one. If you're starting out, you're gonna want to buffer up. Then right before you hit the wall, but not after you hit it, like so, you're gonna want to start holding left, so around here. Then, when you're in the middle of this square, you're gonna want to go down. Then when you're right between these two squares, you're gonna want to go right. When you're on top of the square, you're gonna want to go up. When you're in the middle of these squares, you're gonna want to go left. And for the last down press, it is whatever, but yeah. Press left there. Down in the square. Right between the squares. Up on the square. Left between the squares. That was a little too slow, sorry. Down. Right. Up. Left. And down, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And that's how you beat the level. Level 12, this one is quite the difficulty spike. What I suggest to practice this is just to keep doing runs of it over and over again. Maybe spend like an hour just in this level alone trying to bring your time down. Because the more you play it, the more you'll get used to the walls and the hitboxes. But generally, you're gonna want to catch this beginning cycle right here when you get this opening. And then, alright, I'm gonna go over these corridors that go like one block up. So normally you don't even need to go diagonally here. They're made specifically for you to just press up. You can beat this level without going diagonally whatsoever. But yeah, just make this cycle, and then once you get an opening here, in this general area, you can just press up and left at the same time, and you're going to live most of the time. I don't think there's any like spot that necessarily kills you as long as you're in this huge general area. Unless it's like there, which is pretty far behind. But yeah, make it here, press up left, right, and then just try and make your way to get in front of this enemy cycle right here. Then get this coin, go back left, and then once this enemy starts going down, you're gonna wanna go down as well. And then this ending part, I suggest you take it safe, because sub 6 has a lot of leniency. As long as you make this cycle, you should be fine. Yeah, just do the ending however you want. Depending on how fast you do it, the times can fluctuate from 16 or 17 seconds to all the way to 20. But as long as you make it through the level, it's perfectly acceptable. This is a really, really hard level, so it doesn't really matter what time you get. Level 13 is pretty straightforward. Start by buffering up left, go right, and then left again. This window does look pretty precise, but it actually is much more lenient than you think. It's a 4-frame window if you're perfectly aligned, and a 3-frame window if you're a little misaligned. One more thing I want to go over, if this feels risky to you, the other strat would be to stop at this white square right there and then just do a S shape around it. Level 14 is pretty straightforward, just hold down right, then go up around here, and beat the level like so. And buffer space, of course. Level 15 is quite technical. There's 3 white squares that you're gonna want to keep track of. There's this one, and this one. Let's see if my mouse cursor is visible, because I'm not exactly sure. Okay, it is. So, as I said, you're gonna want to stop there, then here, then here. And then once you did that, the rest of the level should be pretty straightforward. Although I do suggest stopping at the end there as well, so that you're not too fast and hit the enemy. Yeah, so level 15 is pretty straightforward. I'll do it again just to see what it looks like. Stop at the end and go into level 16. Level 16 is another pretty technical one. Start by holding up right, like so. Then go around these 2 enemies, like so. Once you're down here, go down like so. And once you get this coin, make your way over to this square right here. So, once you get the coin, go up, make your way here, and go around the enemy like so, getting the coin. Then stop at this blue square, and then go around the enemies like so, and just beat the level. This will take a little bit of practice, of course. It does look complicated, but once you figure it out, it should be pretty straightforward. Stop there, go around, and make it to the end. Alright, so level 17 is a pretty straightforward one. More of a cutscene than anything. You're gonna want to start by just waiting to get an opening here. Then go down, keep going right, go up, and then here, you're gonna want to wait all here, and there's two ways to do descending. The safer one would be to wait until this enemy goes by and follow it. The harder one would be to do something like this and then squeeze in front of it. I would not recommend the second method unless you really want to save those frames, but that's it for 17. Alright, so level 18, this is another one that people struggle with at the start. I'm gonna go over two methods to do this. They both get around the same time, and they both start by doing this. So yeah, once you do this movement, there's two things you can do. The first method is just keep doing the same thing all the way until the end. And that gets you 10 seconds. Meanwhile, the other method, once you do this, you're gonna pay attention to these blue squares, and you're gonna want to go 2 squares forward, 1 square back. So 2 squares forward, 1 square back, and then just keep doing the same movement over and over again. And here at the end, just get the coin and it'll touch the checkpoint at the same time. Alright, so level 19, this one's probably the most straightforward out of all of them. Just buffer up and right going into the level. And once you're here, press down and buffer spacebar into 20. Alright, so in level 20, I'm gonna go over 2 methods to beat this level. A slightly harder one that gets 12 seconds, and then a slightly easier one that gets 17. But it's more of a 4-second time loss due to milliseconds. This is the 12-second method. I'll go over in detail because there's 3 sections that you're gonna want to pay attention to. Firstly, this beginning one, you're gonna want to get this coin and then go down as quickly as possible and weave through next to this enemy, like so. This will take a little bit of practice, but it's not that hard once you know how to do it. Once you're up here, go down, then go around like this, and here, make your way to this coin. The way I recommend to do this is to be around this zone and then let the game corner cut for you, like that. See how I didn't press up at all, but the game kind of pushed me up a little. And then make your way to this white square, and then the moment you get an opening, do this. This looks precise, but it is way easier than it looks. Once you're done with that, finish the level, and that gets you a 12-second time. The slightly easier method, in case you find this one too hard, would be just wait here. Get this coin and quickly go down. Make your way over here. Go up there. And go after this enemy. And this gets you a 17-second time. But it only loses around a little over 4 seconds. Alright, so level 21, buffer down right, stop over here, and go around this enemy, stop on this little purple square. Once this enemy goes up, once the slow enemy goes up, you press right, then up, stop on the row after the coin, and go around, and get sandwiched in between these 2 dots. Once you're here, just buffer down right or not down buffer, just press down right and make it all the way to the ending. So it should look something like this. Alright, so level 22, you're gonna want to buffer down going into the level, and the moment you hit the ground, start pressing left. When you get to this white square right here, start pressing down, and then when you get to this purple square, start pressing left. So it should look something like this. Down, left. Then once you're at this white square, start pressing up. Oh, no, it's not right. Okay, there we go. Press up, and just let the rest of the level finish itself, like so. So the whole thing should look something like this. One thing worth mentioning is that if you die in this level, the cycle will like repeat itself. So just wait until the cycle restarts, and then you should be able to beat the level the same way. Stop a little at the end there in case you're a little too fast. And now we're in 23. Alright, in 23, I'm gonna go over both Task 23 and the regular 9-second cycle. So what you need to know about Task 23 is if you hit it, you will save 2 seconds over not doing it. But if you miss it, you will only lose 1 second over not doing it. So I think the trade-off is worth it. But if you don't think so, then you can just do the cycle. Start by pressing up right, then immediately go. Turn around over here. Get all these coins, and make it to the end. This gets you a 9-second time, like so. Task 23, the way you're gonna want to do this is you can either do the death setup where you buffer down right and then switch to down to upright. Then when you're in the middle of this square, press down, like so, to get all 3 coins. And just get all 3 rows of coins at the same time. Now if you failed it like that, you can back it up by just doing another rotation, and that gets you 10 seconds. But if you do actually manage to get all of them, like so, you will get a 7-second time. One thing I also recommend at the end here, instead of just trying to sweep these 2 coins at once, just like all of the other ones, you can just go up like that. That was a bad example, it took me a while. But yeah, just sweep them like this. This just makes it more consistent, even though it's a little slower. But yeah, that's about it for level 23. Level 24, buffer upright, then switch to down, and go up, down, up, and stop at this purple square here. Up, down, up, and go upright. And buffer spacebar going to 25. 25, start by pressing down. Once you're in between these 2 squares, like perfectly in the center, press left, and then once you touch the wall, press right, and just finish the whole rest of the level by pressing right. So again, just press left. Once you hit the wall, switch to right, and then just finish the level. 26, this is another huge struggle for beginners, mostly because of this rhythm right here that you're gonna need to practice a lot. But yeah, this is just something that with a lot of time you'll get experience with. It will be very hard at the start, but the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. So get this upright coin, then get down here and just make your way over to the bottom right coin. Go up here and then just do the same rhythm. And once you're here, get this bottom left coin. Alright, 27 is going to be an interesting one because you're going to want to make your way through the center of the level. Start by going to upright, go around this, go through here, go around, and get this coin. Now after the coin, you're going to want to do a quick turnaround, go up. You can maybe release left for a little. And just make your way through the rest of the level like so. You can just play back the video however many times you want and just learn this route. This will be a pretty learning route, but once you get it, you should be able to just get it every time. Go around, go over here. Now if you want to play the ending a little riskier and get a faster time by almost a second, you can go up here, go through these 2 bars, then press left, stop over there, and quickly make it squeeze through this bar and checkpoint. So in the whole level should look something like this. Left, stop for a second, and then go through there. In 28, you're gonna wanna go up here and wait until you get an opening. If you find that too hard, you could always just do this instead, but that loses a cycle. If you're able to make this cycle, I mean, whether you get this one or the other one, the rest of the level will be the same. Just go 1 to the right, then down, 2 to the right, then up, and 2 to the right again. Once you're here, there's two ways to do this. First method would be to go in this white square right there, and then go up, then keep going left, then go down, keep going left, and go up. If you find that to be too difficult, a way I found to like make this more consistent is to look at the tiles and go left, up, left, and then left, down, left, which looks something like this. Perfect. Now the slightly faster way, you get in this white square right there, do this movement for the rest of the level. This might be hard at first, but with enough practice, this does get consistent, and I highly recommend putting the extra time to learn it. Alright, in 29, start by buffering down left, go around this enemy, then stop down at the bottom, and do this movement throughout the bottom of the level. Stop there, and go up. This gets you a 10-second time, although there's a faster way, which I highly recommend learning, and it looks something like this. Go around, go up here, go down, get this coin, and go around this enemy. And now for level 30, all you're gonna wanna do is take this path to the first coin, go right, then left, and get this coin, go down, get this coin, go up here, and just go around this enemy like so. Stop a little over here, and get to the end. If you wanna play it a little riskier and save a second, what you can do is try to do this first part without stopping at all. Then after getting this coin, quickly go over the enemy like so, and get to the ending. That saves a second over the previous route. Alright, so now that we went over all the beginner routes, I'm going to be performing an example run showing you what time you can reasonably get by doing these strategies. So, play game, and let's see what we can do. Pretty straightforward levels at the start. sorry, I accidentally almost did a hard strat over there before realizing. Alright, so as you can see, if you perform all of these strategies according to plan, you should be able to get a time in the 5-4x range, although obviously with the easier strats that I went over, you could probably add some of them, which obviously will make your lenience for sub 6 a little smaller, but still be useful nonetheless. Alright, so with that I'm going to be concluding this tutorial here. I really hope you found this helpful in any way, shape, or form, and if you want to submit a run to speedrun.com, you're going to have to do so by recording your run with a recording software such as OBS and uploading to a video sharing platform like YouTube. With that, I'm going to leave you here, and I'm going to be linking the World's Hardest Game Speedrun Discord server in the description of this video, and that's about it.